not National Parade. This was way in KL, right? Last month we have a big event, right? A live transforming summit. I always attend this kind of function to get inspired, right? Even though it was organized by many of our leaders over here. But, I make an effort, right? Over the last 19 years, I've been in business for 19 years. So, I still enjoy very much in attending all these functions because I saw so many lives are being transformed through our products. And of course, our business platform too. This is in KL. We have almost close to about 3,500 people just within our Singapore and Malaysian partners attending these activities. Right, I've seen a lot of new success stories, right, which always inspired me. And then after 1 week later, I actually traveled to Indonesia. Right, I think today online we have Indonesian partners actually attending this online. Right, I went to Indonesia. Right, we managed to have almost 1,000 packs of event over there. Right, again I've seen a lot of new faces. Many of them inspired me very much. You know why? Because some of the success story was as young as like 20 years old. 20 years old, some of you are still studying, right? In the past, right? And of course, you just graduated and, they become Blue Diamond, executive brand director, right? And we also seen that people, older people, generations like 80 years old, got involved in our business and become a very powerful product testimonial. I don't know about you, right? I don't know what you are doing today, right? In fact, there are not many platforms that allows 18 years old, 19 years old, until 80 years old, and you can still engage and involve in the business. Isn't it amazing? Right? Shall we give Nu Skin a warm round of applause? Because I think if you want to look for a job, if you are a little bit senior, it's kind of difficult for you to find a job. Am I right? Right? If you're underage, right? I just understand that actually in Indonesia, right, to join our business, you only need to be 17 years old. Just 17 years you can start a business. How amazing, right? So there's a reason why, because of this platform, right, over the last 19 years, I see many lives are being transformed. So I was inspired to share more about my success story too, right? So this afternoon, right, I'm going to share a little bit about, my stories. So you're going to be patient because it's been good 19 years. Wow, I cannot imagine that when I first started it was like, just like yesterday, right? When I make a decision to jump on this platform, I didn't realize that today, this is my 19 years in the business. I don't look that old, right? Yeah, because I started young. I started when I was 28 years old, right? So that was me, over the journey, right? In fact, I came in because I want to build my own business. I think you saw in my introduction video, right? I never believed in working for people, right? I was never worked for people before. So I wanted to try entrepreneurship right at the start after I graduated from school. So I don't know why I studied for. Actually, I studied for my parents, or just basically just want to let them have a peace of mind, right? At least I'm a degree holder. But to be honest, right, when I was in U, right, I was never prepared to work for people already. So when I come to this journey, I was just thinking that I want to start my own business. Right before that, I never thought that I can, later I'm going to show you some of my testimonials, which indeed I never thought before, because I just want to make money. I don't know about you, for some of you are here today, this afternoon, you try to find out, how you can make more money. Same for me when I first started, right? But Nu Skin actually gave me really a discover a better me, right? This was just right before I started Nu Skin. Just 1 year before. So my first career, right? My first business after I graduated from school, right? I went into financial planning. I went to insurance. Any one of you came from financial planning? Before, right? Or now today to clap your hands. You know why? Because I talked to some of the financial planning friends. They told me that, hey, we are not supposed to get involved in MLM. Right? How true is this? I think it's not important. The important thing is that what do you want? I think that's most important, right? So that was my first career after I graduated from school. I was there for about 4 years. This is one of the seminars that I attended, and I did a sharing, right? That was when I was 27 years old. So I always look very matured. My friends always tell me when I was young, they say, Rayne, you are really matured, right? You always think very far, very deep, I'm very, very mature. Indeed, for 27 years old to look like this is indeed very mature, right? This year I'm 47 years old. So it's 20 years ago. When I saw this photo, right, I always started to visualize, right? What if I do not do Nu Skin? And chances are, if I do not do Nu Skin, I will not use the product, right? And of course, even I use the product, I will not use that much extensively, right? So over the years, you know, I did not really want to take testimonials. These are all the photos, you know, casual photos taken during our events, right? Not meant to be a before-after photos testimonials. So as you can see, over the years, that, you know, from some of the photos are being, you know, on the stage, being recognized. You know, some of them just casual, right? As you can see, right, how it was transformed, especially that since 2009, that when we started to introduce H law, right? Yes or no? Yeah, no. So when I saw these photos, I realized that no, actually making millions is not important anymore. Right? Health and beauty is more important. Am I right? Because there are a lot of people who makes a lot of money. Ultimately, you realize that they lose their health. So they try to, you know, spend a lot of money back, regain back their health. Right? If you are not able to regain back, you go to hell. Actually, life is pretty meaningless because a lot of us working very hard, accumulated wealth, and at the end of the day, you realize that, you know, we lose our health. So I begin to appreciate about this platform very much, right? Because we are in the wellness industry. You know, I recall back when I first started, before I started, I used to be in insurance. Before I joined insurance, right, I never buy any insurance policies. You know, I joined insurance because I just want to make money, not because I want to buy insurance policy. Right, so over the last 4 years in the insurance industry, what happened is that because I get educated about the product, about financial planning, about savings, about insurance, right? And 4 years in the industry, actually buy a lot of policies. So why actually we have this kind of actions or this kind of behavior? Because we get to know more, right? The more you know, the more you get exposed, the more you realize that you are inadequate. Am I right? So same thing there for many of you who are new today, right? Just like before I started, many of us are very skeptical about MLM, or direct selling, or network marketing, or health product, right? So because we have zero knowledge, probably that you realize that we have some misunderstanding or misinformation. So, but the true fact is, right, the more I get to know about this business, I realize that there's just too many merits that I cannot imagine, right? So this is my transformation. I started off with very bad skin, right? As you can see that today is still not so good, but it's better. Right, it's better, yeah? So many people always ask me, right, why you actually get involved in new skin? Because the word new skin suggests? Skincare business, right? So we started off in 1984 with a skincare business. Right, new skin stands for nutrition for skin. Right, so we are proud, you know, we take pride in all of the good, none of the bad ingredients. So when I get exposed about a business model, I got really excited because I was 27, 28 years old. Right, I want to build a global business, but I don't have capital. So when I stumbled upon New Skin, I realized, wow, it's an amazing platform. But when I get to know about the product, I got scared off. You know why? Because in those days, there's no TR90. Right, there's no health supplement. They don't even have a life pack yet. They only have skincare product or the personal care product from head to toe. Right, and many of them are actually dealing with skin. Oh my God, if you look at my face then. No, I was not that bad. You know what happened? I decided that I think that this has got good potential, even though I may not use skincare that much, but because there are a lot of ladies that love skincare product, right? Yes or no? Because I get to know that in business, there are two kinds of business are the best business. Right? The one business offering is that, you know, you're offering services or product to female. Because ladies' money is easier to make. Correct or not? Right. Men money, you realize that they always lock inside, very difficult to come out. Wow. Right. Ladies, you realize that profitable, right, is the business that's dealing with children. Right, especially you realize that when parents are getting better off, right, they will tend to give more to their children. Am I right? So these are the two best businesses. So when I saw that New Skin is a skincare business, even though I don't use that much in the past, right? I don't have good complexions to show people how good a product is. But I know that it's a good business, right? So many people also tell me today, right, wow, Rayne, you're very lucky, right? You have the vision to see the business, the potential of the business. But to tell you the truth, there are a lot of challenges when I first started. Because the first thing is, if you listen to my voice, it's pretty nice, right? But when you see my face, and those days you realize that I'm pretty good at doing business presentation. But to demonstrate how good your products, I didn't do product demo in the past. Okay, so those days you realize that we did a lot of those skincare product, limit status, pH paper tests, and a lot of this kind of product tests, So every time when I do the product demo, people look at me. As a speaker on a stage, right? Sometimes you look at people that have this kind of gesture, you begin to feel very uncomfortable. I really don't know how to continue, right? So if you ask me, is it easy? It's never easy. The biggest challenge to me is that I was born with this kind of face, right? So many of the men over here, you may also think that, why that there are so many men involved in this business. I think the most important thing is that I was driven by the vision of the business and the potential, right? It was very tough. You know what's tougher? Right? I thought that because the product is good of the good, none of the bad, right? As it claims, the product philosophy. So I started using the product extensively. And what happened is that after I used the product, even worse, it became like that. At the peak, you realize that pimples are coming out from my mouth and lips. With this kind of situation, I still continue to do presentation. Can you believe it? Now I start to think that what kind of faith and belief they have drive me in the business. It's crazy, right? It's really crazy. So, right, anytime anything you do, you realize that nothing is perfect, right? Especially when you start to make decisions. For example, some of you already started in the business, you thought that this is something beautiful, right? And once you get started, you realize that you start to face challenges. So same for me. My biggest challenge is my face, because I used to be from insurance, right? We did sales before. So to communicate, to present, I don't think it's a problem for me. But I was dealing with skincare, that's challenging. So I was beginning to think, how do I turn it around? Right? In fact, most of my presentation, the closing is almost 100%. You know why? Because this is something that cannot change, right? Right? My face cannot change, right? So I turn it around and tell the audience, when every time I make presentation after the product demo, I telling them, if I can do it, if your face is better than me, you can do it better than me. Wow, beautiful closing, everybody sign up. So in life, right, never stuck into your problems and the challenges. Because in every problem and challenges lies an opportunity, right? Otherwise, you realize that I can just use the product, right, to become perfect skin. Then I started the new skin. Unfortunately, until today, I still do not have perfect skin. So can you imagine if I wait for 19 years to have a perfect skin, right? Then I come and do the business, what happened? I never get started, right? And today you realize that I wouldn't have any achievement. So I think the right attitude and the right mindset is extremely important, right, for you to do anything. So that was subsequently you realize a lot of transformation, right? Well, so after 2 years of hard work, right, I worked bloody hard when I first started, right? Of course, some of you see that today we have a lot of nice lifestyle, but when I first started this journey, indeed you realize I work almost every day. Right, to a certain extent, my first 2 years of Chinese New Year, I don't even go back to my hometown. Because I don't want to lose the kind of momentum, right? Because when you are building the business, you want to have the rhythm and the momentum. So in a very short period of time, right, in 2 years, I accumulated my first $1 million US. In that period of time, right, you talk about direct selling on MLM, it's a taboo. It's like you start to talk to people about MLM, they talk about pyramid. Right, when I ask them what is pyramid, no, then they want to go triangle one, no, pyramid, no? Right, or the Egypt pyramid. Right, in fact, I always ask them, what is pyramid? I think for most of the people responded, they don't even know what is pyramid, and they just tell you that it's pyramid. You tell me that, right, because, you see, the MLM says triangle one. I say, you tell me what kind of organization is not pyramid. Any organization limit, right, from PAP, from government, right, from any corporate, right? Then the next moment tell me that, I don't want to get involved with MLM because people at the top make more money than people at the bottom. You tell me any organization that people at the top not making money and people at the bottom make more money on. Nonsense, right? Right? In fact, you realize in organization, if you're just a toilet cleaner, you cannot be making more money than the CEO. Right? So it's no sense at all when they talk about pyramid and talk about triangle, you talk about people at the top make more money. Doesn't mean that, isn't it that in all organizations that people at the top supposed to make more money? Yes or no? Yeah. Right? So in fact, I didn't listen to them. Right? I know that this is a platform that can change my life. Right? I was very focused. So, after I become a $1 million circle member, actually this is a professional photo being taken by New Skin. Again, I look very mature then. I was already 30 years old. So professional photographer, touch up a little bit So nicer, right? After 2 years. 10 years later, right? This is $1 million circle members. So 10 years later, in 2012, I become a $20 million circle members. So we took another photo. Right? And this time, even I was quite amazed when I go to the studio because it's the same studio, same photographer. And he's still there. Amazing, right? The only change you realize that he put on weight. Right? Because he never take our product, he put on weight. Right? So I really respect his persistence. Because every time when I share with my friends or people around me, I tell them that, I'm in the business for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. They tell me, you're still in the business. But when I look at him, I realize that he's even more persistent than me. Lucky after $20 million, there's no more recognition. If not, if I go back today, probably he's still there, taking photograph, right? So 10 years later, by 2012, we become 20 million. When I put these two photos together, I really realized that New Skin indeed is discovering a better version of you, right? Yes or no? So it's almost like 7 years ago. 2012 to 21, today. This year I'm 47 years old, coming to 50 years old. So I always very appreciate that because I get involved in New Skin business, right? I got the opportunity to get to learn more about the product technology, right? And as a result of it, you realize that I tend to eat more product, and I believe that by doing so, right, we will actually become younger compared to I was not doing that. Can you imagine that if I was still stuck in my previous profession, I will look very matured. Cannot say old Old is not very. I will look very senior citizen kind of look, right? Well, so a key thing is about why. I think many of you get exposed to our product. Some people ask me, right? New Skin, I heard before. Anyone ever never heard about New Skin before? Or heard, wow, famous brand, right? So every time I talk to people about, I represent this brand called New Skin, and today, of course, we have ageLOC brand. You say, I know. I said, what do you know? I know. I said, what do you know? I know MLM. Now, what do you know? Oh, I know TNID. Oh, I know Rayne. Oh, he's my friend. He do very well in New Skin. Right? In fact, you realize if you know about New Skin, it's very normal. Just like you know about BMW. Why? Because it's a famous brand. Right? You heard about Mercedes-Benz? Yes, right? But have you ever made money from BMW and Mercedes-Benz? So that's the question, right? Many people realize that when we talk to them about, today we represent this brand called New Skin, they'll tell me that, I know. I said, what do you know? Have you made a single cent from New Skin? No, you are just a user. Probably you'll be using the product, right? Or you probably heard about a brand. Why you heard about a brand? Because it's famous, isn't it? Right? And let me ask you one simple question. If you are partnering a business, right? A business partner, do you want to partner with a famous brand or no brand? Small dog brand. Which one is easier? Of course given a chance right? But unfortunately, you realize that all the famous brand in the market, all the established brand in the market, if you want to represent them, they don't give you a chance. Or probably you realize that the barriers of entry is just too high, right? And some of the famous brands, you realize that when they go to any new market, right, they will not go to any individual, normal people. They will give to who? They will give to those people with deep pocket, influential, right? They already have money, right? But for most of the people, I would say that more than 90% of people who are normal people, we will never get a chance to represent a famous brand. So you need to understand that, right? Where are you coming from, right? If you are building the business. So why did I started New Skin business? Very different compared to a lot of people, right? Not because I love MLM. No, right? It's because three key things that I identify, which this platform has no other platform has got. First, proven risk-free platform, right? The word proven is extremely important. But there are a lot of venture you can go into, a lot of business ideas you can have, but very few business ideas turn into a good, successful product or brand. Right? 99.9% of the business idea failed. Right? Proven, I think, is very important. Why? Because the biggest opportunity cost is time. Because every one of us gets old unless you use new skin. Right? The second thing you realize that risk-free. Right? A lot of business you realize that if you want to expand bigger, right, the higher the risk. The bigger the barriers of entry. Right? You make the first 1 million, you realize that you want to make 10 million, you got to borrow money from the bank and reinvest again. The risk becomes higher. If you play this kind of game, right? Second thing is that there are a lot of platforms, a lot of work that we do. Unfortunately, you realize that they are restricted into certain geography. So the potential is very little. Like for example, right? I used to be from financial planning. I was in insurance. Okay, I cannot expand my business. Even I'm Malaysian, right? I cannot expand my business to Malaysia. Right, by right, you realize that I represent a company called Lion on. You know Lion? You know the company like Lion, right? So this company has got a branch in Malaysia also. Right, and being a Malaysian, by right, I started from Singapore. If I have some relative or friends that are interested in the business in Malaysia, I should be able to recruit them to build a business also, right? Yes or no? Unfortunately, cannot. Because why? Insurance and financial planning, you are dealing in financial products. And this is highly regulated by the monetary, by MAS in Singapore. In Malaysia, it's Bank Negara. Because it's very sensitive, because they're collecting the deposit and money from people. Because of these barriers of entry, I do not have the kind of opportunity to build Malaysia business. Right? And this company, I don't know whether they are in other countries, but basically you realize that because of the choice that I make, I lost a lot of opportunities. Right? Even though you realize that it could be very famous, right? You do certain things like in Singapore. Right? Like in the past you do in Singapore, right? The most you can serve today is only 5 million population. If you're top of the top of the top of the top, maximum is 5 million. Right, so have you ever wondered whatever you're doing right now, right? What is the outreach possibility? Given that you only have 24 hours per day. Right? So when I get to know about Nu Skin, I realize that this is interesting. You know why? Because it allows you to build a global business, borderless. Right? More than 50 world markets, I think it's enough. It's enough. Right? So I started to have imagination. I started from Singapore. In years to come, I could have potentially that a lot of business in everywhere in the world. Indeed, today, after 19 years, right? I have more than 20 over countries. Income coming from different countries. Is it because I'm capable? No. Because all skill set can be acquired, right? If we are willing to learn. Agree? But the difficult part, you realize that a lot of platform and choice that you make, there's limitation. Right? Sometimes, for example, right, if you are working 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, you're working like 10 hours per day. The maximum you can make only 10 hours over trade. But today, through the Nu Skin platform, you can even work in different time zones. For example, if you build a business, you are from Singapore, if you build a business in the US, you are sleeping, they are working. So what happened? You are sleeping, you also make money. But if you are working for someone else, this is never possible. Right? The third thing is about residual exponential income. Right? I want to share with you about this partner that I'm working with. Right? When I first started, I never thought that I was doing MLM or direct selling. I never thought that I'm selling skincare products because that was just a front. You know what is a front? Right? It's just an appearance that people, for example, today you're doing TNIT. Right? You'll be seen that you are measuring people's waist. Yo, leche lah, no standard. I'm a certified accountant, go and measure people's waist. Right? But that was just appearance. It's just a process. Right? You need to understand that the product offering and the services, what are the opportunities behind it? For example, if you're doing TNIT today, right? Do you agree that weight management, weight loss business is extremely big? Why? Because as long as there's good food, right? Forever, never run out of business. Yes or no? Right. So that's the reason why just product right by the front, and you have opportunity to partner with this famous brand that's proven in Singapore and Malaysia, the top #1, right? Weight management brand. But if you realize that, if you are not partnering in Nu Skin, you don't have this chance. So I look into Nu Skin opportunity as a partnership, not a distributorship. There's a distinction over here, right? So when you look into this as a partnership, right, you will try to understand that what kind of partner you're working with. Is it reliable, trustworthy, right, or have a proven track record? Because I think these are all extremely important. So when I saw the track record of Nu Skin, when I started this company, right, Nu Skin has been around for 17 years. So many of my friends that actually in Malaysia, especially in Malaysia, a lot of them they did MLM before or direct selling before. So when I told them I joined New Skin, they told me, why join New Skin? New Skin already old skin already. Because their impressions is that if you want to join MLM, you must join early. Right? I said, oh, you are very smart. Right? You want to join early. They want to join later. If any of the business opportunity only join early, you can make money. Right? Join later cannot make money. This company and this platform or this opportunity cannot last. Agree? Right? In fact, you realize that what is a real opportunity? A real opportunity is whereby, right, even though in years to come, 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years later, for example, New Skin, their product offering never run out, never get saturated. Do you agree with me, right? From 10 or 20 years, 30 years, or 100 years down the road, are there still people looking for young, not to look youthful? To look young, beautiful, yes or no? Are there still people looking for, to look slim, healthy? Yes or no? Right, in 5 and 10 years or 100 years down the road, are there still young people, new people, they come on board, you realize they want to look for opportunity or solution of their life? Yes or no? If the above questions, these 3 questions, answer are yes. We never run out of business. So I look into this business model very different from the rest of them, because be very careful from who you seek advice from. Because of those people that I observe, right, they say they are in the direct selling business for 10 years, but I observe that, they have joined 5 companies. Every 1 or 2 years, they join a new company, hoping that they are always on the top, so that then they can make a lot of money. But I look at all this, their life never change, because they think like a speculator. And many times you realize that the company cannot survive, they cannot sustain the business, right? That's why they fail. So extremely important that if you want to look into this business model, right, you need to understand that what is the track record of this company. So when I saw some of this track record, I got extremely excited. First, they are publicly listed in New York Stock Exchange. Meaning what? Because I used to study I used to major in economics, so I'm pretty good at statistics, numbers. So to me, is that I want to have a partner that is transparent. Even though you lose money, it's fine. At least you tell me what's happening. Yes or no? Right? Because you are in the partnership together. Right? In fact, today you realize that being publicly listed, you realize a lot of things we can be more transparent. We understand what is the business doing. In fact, if you look into any business for long term, there are ups and downs always. Right? Always ups and downs. The key thing is that, right, are you going for long term or short term? I think this is most important. The second thing that I look into is that, right, trustworthy. According to Forbes magazine, right, New Skin was rated 100 most trustworthy companies. I don't know about you, right? In any partnership, do you think that trustworthy is important? Yes or no? Because you can pitch about the business plan, but unfortunately you realize that, are you able to deliver? Right? Even if you are able to deliver 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, but is it long-term sustainable? Right? So this is something that you realize is so difficult, right? Sometimes a lot of time people ask me that, I see a lot of people join MLM, but I also see that many people are not successful. I say, of course lah. Why? Because first, the attitude of the people going into the business, right? They are thinking like speculator. They thought that they join today, tomorrow they become millionaire. So as a result, you realize that they are always fall prey to a lot of money game. If you don't add values to any process, you cannot make sustainable income. Agree? Right? In all business offerings, it's always the same. Right? And most interesting, you realize that we are not just trustworthy, right, track record. I also want to know the profits, because profit is extremely important. Right? As in today, right, the rate of us creating millionaires, every 3 days, they create 1 new millionaire in US dollar terms. So that is how the compensation plans rewarded us. When I first started New Skin 19 years ago, right, if I can remember, the number of millionaires created is about 200 plus. So about 200-300 if I remember. Today, accumulated, this company has created almost 1,500 millionaires. Actually, you don't have to give applause to this company, right? I want you to check for yourself, right? The company that you're working with, the partnering brand that you're working with, your immediate boss, right? Or the people on top of you, right? What is their status? Because very soon, 5, 10, 20 years later, right? If you're good, you're going to replace their seat. So if you're not happy with your boss, very soon a lot of people is not going to be happy with you. Right? Literally, you realize that, right, if you are logical, right, think about it, right, you know where is your future. So when I saw this new skin platform, right, I know that it's a big embracing platform, right? A lot of people, right, of different walks of life, they can do it, right? And this is offered to me, same plan. Same plan, right? Offer the same plan. Sometimes you realize that in the traditional world, it's not the same plan. Huh? The offering is not equal, right? But today you realize that every one of us join the same. Even though today, if you're the richest man in Singapore, you want to join this skin, you got to start to LI and qualify for brand rep. Isn't it fair? I think the fairest of all fairest, right? Yeah. So today you realize that this is a company that we were working with, right? And compare with what we are doing right now, actually you have a very clear path, the future. I mentioned about international business early on, right? You can start in Singapore, register an account for free today, right? You get access globally, right? To build your own new skin business. There's no restriction, literally. Right? So in years to come, you realize that you never know who knows who. Right? Most of you today, right, I would say that none of you actually I know individually. It's through referrals. People introduce people. And you never know who knows who, right? So this is indeed so powerful, right? Especially in Singapore today. Singapore is small. Whatever you do, always remember, it's small. It's not because you have a big idea, because the market is small. Right? The key word you need to understand is that, do you have access? Just like if you want to go to your house or whichever, you need to have an access card first. Right? If your business model or your job or role do not have a global access, the chances of your potential of your model is not going to be big. Right? The third one, residual passive income, right, which I mentioned earlier on, but I want to elaborate a little bit more because a lot of people are being mistaken about this multi-level marketing. Because you see a lot of people drawing circles, right? Wow, you know, sometimes you get confused also. Right? Well, I don't know what they draw. Actually, the purpose of drawing circle is to make you blur. Right? If you cannot convince people, you confuse people, right? Make them confused, okay? But through me, right, when I saw this so-called the plan and the circles, right, I got excited not because of just the money, right? In fact, everybody is excited about money. But what kind of income is most important, right? To me, residual is something exciting. You know what residual means? Because we are not so used to make residual income. Okay, we are only used to make active income. Active income means that you do something, you get something. You don't work, you have no income. Right? Residual means that you work for a period of time, you get paid for a long time. That's called residual. For example, if you are a famous singer, Elvis Presley. Right? Elvis Presley passed away already. You record the album once, but the family members or them in the past, you get the royalties forever. Unfortunately, anyone Elvis Presley here? Right? And usually, right, for this kind of caliber of people, they are very talented. Right? They're very talented. Or you are a famous author, writer. You write a book, right? Once. But you get paid for life. You've got people buy lah. Right? So, in fact, you realize that most of the things that we do today is non-residual. But, you get older. That's terrible, right? Actually, all of us are racing against one enemy. Time. Right? Passive means what? You realize that you stop working, you still have income. But most of the time, you realize that, right, a choice of career, right? Even when we are studying in the school, when you choose certain course, we never thought about that. Right? We get influenced by people around us. For example, right, if your family members got doctors, chances are you become doctors, right? If a family member is accountant, chances are you become accountant. Because we were influenced by people around you. So when you first started New Skin, right, and go back to ask your mom, your parents will never say yes. Because they will never get exposed to it. Right? You see, it's different direct group. If you're Hakka do certain kind of business. Right? If you are Cantonese do certain kind of business. If you are Hainanese, you also do certain kind of business. Why? Because of the influence. Right? So residual passive income is something very interesting that many of us never study in the school. We study all, never use one. What? Chemistry lah. For what? Physics. Right? Study all those, looks like, wow, damn sad one last time. Right? Come out, you realize that you never use anything. Right? Probably the only things that you learn is mathematics. If you know how to plus minus, it's almost can already. So what's the wrong of formal education? Actually, we are not, through the formal education, we are not equipped with the living skills to survive in the outside world. And that's the reason why you realize that we spend so much time, right, from primary school, secondary school, high school, right, to university, 10, 20 years. Your parents spend a lot of money, right? You come out unemployed. So that is a problem. So if you start to be aware of what is residual passive income, right, you'll start to look for a solution. For example, right, some people in Singapore, what they do is that they buy property. So property investment in Singapore is pretty popular, right? Yes or no? So in fact, but for you to buy a property, extremely barriers of entry is very high. It's getting more expensive. Agree? And with a lot of taxes today, after you buy the first property, second property, the tax so high, right? It's difficult for you to make the kind of money. So theoretically, a lot of people buy property. There are only three motives of people buy property. Like whether you can clarify whether I'm right or wrong, huh? Basically, I did analysis before, right? There are three reasons, a strong motivation for people to buy property. First, for own stay, because you need a place to stay. That means what I mentioned is that use the product yourself, right? You need to use this product. This is the first main reason why people own a property. Second, property, right? Hoping you buy at 1 million, you sell at 2 million. Capital appreciation, right? Second reason. Okay. Third reason, you buy, you rent out, correct? Then you minus off your loan, mortgage, you got a net cash flow. This is also called your passive income. But unfortunately, sometimes your property cannot rent out. Sometimes you rent out very bad tenant, they will pay a few months. Right? Sometimes the tenants pay, you realize that you go back to the house, you realize that a lot of things need repair. Do renovation again. After you do the renovation, now renovation is very expensive, you know. Right, do renovation again, cover your 1 month, 1 year rental income. Three main reasons that make property investment so popular. And yet you realize that not everybody can afford. So I always tell people that, why do you need to do new skin? Because new skin is a better investment than property. First, when you first start new skin, what do? Use the product. Right, to make yourself better, right? Some people say that I don't want to use the product, can do it or not? Can, very difficult. You know why? Because most of us are not salespeople. We are not trained in sales. Right? So it's difficult for you to try to close people or share people about the product. But if you use the product, right, the transformation is easier for you to influence the people around you. Right? This is what we call the easiest kind of strategy. The first reason why, the new skin, first, use the product. Right? Second thing why people do new skin is, should you build a business, your new skin business account can be transferable or you can sell away. For example, right, if you build this account for a period of time, you can show that your consistent income every month, right? You can sell this account to a third party. Are you getting me? This isn't it the same like a property capital appreciation? But you don't need to invest money, right? And what you need to do is that you work on the property. I don't know whether you're confused right now, huh? Okay, the third thing is that as you build a business like me, right? As you build 525, 125, you own a portfolio of properties everywhere in the world. Why? Because every property is just like an executive or brand rep, right? They do 5K, they do 10K. Isn't it sounds like rental income? Yes or no? But it's better. Why? Because there's no government regulation. Because sometimes you go buy foreign property, there's some restriction, right? Yes or no? And the best thing is that this property, they maintain themselves very well. No need to renovate them. Right? Every month end, you realize that, right, they will just fulfill whatever they need to be fulfilled. Isn't it a wonderful business model? Right? So if the more you understand about this business model, you realize that, oh my God, how come with this kind of business around? Right? Like Singapore, right? If you want to buy a second property, third property, fourth property, it's getting more expensive. This is how many property you want. You decide. Right? Some of them, like Lee Ong, she built a lot of hotels. Not just one property. One hotel, you realize have many rooms, right? Hey, one room, one night, $200-$300, you know. Right? So this is, if you think that New Skin is just an MLM, then it was just an MLM. But if you think New Skin, right, is an asset building business, then it's going to be asset building business. It's totally different positioning altogether. Okay? Well, this is not from me. Right, Warren Buffett, I think everybody knows. Right? Investment guru, he mentioned about what? If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you see. Right, of course, his method is investment. He's an investment guru. But it's not easy to be a good investor. True? Yeah, but it's easier for you to build New Skin business from 1 to 2 to 3 as long as you are hardworking. Right, so you need to think about it, right? Especially Singapore are getting more expensive. Getting more expensive, right? And if you look at the new people who are coming out, if you are young today, right, planning to go to the workforce, right, graduate from school. To be honest, right, when I graduated 30 years ago, wow, 30 years already, wow. 25 years ago. Actually, the degree holder, right, certain degree holder, 25 years ago, and the new fresh graduate today, actually the income don't increase a lot. But the inflation over the last 25 years, right? 25 years ago, the property price and the 25 years property price today. So can you imagine that if you are fresh graduate or you're coming out from school, right? You really go through the normal path. When are you able to buy a property? Never. Why? Because the choice that you make will never catch up with the inflation, right? And with how the world has changes. So that is why, right, I came out of this graph, right? This is a life-changing graph, right? If you forgot what I said earlier on, never mind. But this is a very important graph. Why? Because a lot of people tell me that I'm not suitable for New Skin. Right? I'm not born to do this thing. Sorry, actually when I was born, my mom looked at me, right? Never on my forehead that this guy is for MLM. Oh. I was just like you. Right? We make choices along the way. We go to primary school, right? We go to secondary school. We choose certain course that we think, right, their future. Right? Unfortunately, you realize that there are a lot of jobs going to be redundant and replaceable with AI, with robots, right? And many of the people today, you realize that they're still studying the kind of course. Right? 5 and 10 years later, what kind of future, right? So in fact, the one thing you need to be very aware, it's not about what profession or job you're going to do. You need to be very aware, where do you want to invest your time? Because you have no money to invest, it's fine, right? But time is equal, because everybody has got 24 hours. People who are more successful than you, it's not because they have more money. People who are more successful than you right now is because they better invest their time 10 or 20 years ago. That's all. Right, that's all. Not because they have more money than you to start with, right? So in fact, you need to be very aware of this is money. This is time. So different kind of platform, different kind of work that you choose, you end up with different kind of destiny. It's guaranteed. Right? It's a guarantee. Right? That's why we have a lot of sad stories that are happening around us. Why? Because of the choice that you make. The first choice of people, that we have 90% of the people. How many of you used to be from employee? You work for people. Where you got so little? Right? At least 80%. Oh, some of you are doing full-time New Skin now, right? So used to be, right? Used to be, I think, 80% of the people. 80% to 90% of people in the workforce working for people. From 2005, $3,000 per month, right, after you come out from school, if you are lucky, right, the company you work with never collapsed, right, from 20 years old until 65 years old, that means about 40 years your company is still around, and you are very capable, right, and you are very hardworking, right, and provided the boss also like you, right, because capable, the boss like you also, no opportunity, right? So you climb up all the way, right? In Singapore context, if you can make 5 figures income per month, it's pretty okay, right? Pretty okay, right? In fact, you realize that as a civil servant, because civil servants are the largest employment in Singapore, right? If you are in what they call it super skill, right? Super skill is you're making about 10 over 1,000 only, right? That's considered the cream right? In fact, no matter how high you are, by the time you retire or you're asked to go, your income goes back to zero. So be very aware if you are working for someone, right? If you are owning a job, what will happen is that you can work very hard. The only thing that you increase is what? Experiences that cannot be converted to money. That means you cannot monetize your experiences. And some of the experiences you realize become redundant. Why? Because the industry that you work in becomes sunset industry or being replaced. No more now. Gone. It's totally gone. Right? So 20 over plus, when you were so young, vitality, a lot of time, until by the time you're 65. Retirement age today in Singapore is 67 years old. Yes or no? Yeah. When I was younger, when I first came to Singapore, the retirement age was 55. 55, now 67. Right? Why is it that you need to retire longer? Oh, because according to the government, they say because now the people live longer. Does it mean that you live longer, you have to work longer? Right? There's this movie called Money Not Enough. Because you cannot sustain the kind of lifestyle. Right? Why? Because everything getting more expensive. Can you imagine from 24, 25 up to 67? Are you prepared? If you are 20 years old today, for some of you, I see that there are a lot of young people today. Lucky you are here. Right? Are you prepared to invest 40 years of your time? Right? At the end, go back to zero. So when you start working, you are starting on a back to zero plan. Even if you are CEO of a company, once you get out, right? That's it. You cannot say that, hey, I'm a CEO of a company. My son has just graduated from school. Right? Unless you're an owner of the company. If you're an employee, can my son take over the CEO? You wait long. It's not possible at all. Can you imagine that 80% to 90% of people choose this path? How scary is it? But none of us is aware. Because none of them actually attend my class before, right? So people always ask me that you should go to the university and share this before they go out to the workforce. Can help a lot of people. I think I should plan that, right? Yeah, because otherwise you realize that people, what they do is that, right, we get used to the norm. The norm means what? Your friends are looking for a job. If you're not looking for a job, something is wrong. It's such a scary perception by the public, right? So the same thing, when I first started MTM, people think that, wow, you're funny, right? How come you do this kind of thing? I asked them, what do you mean by this kind of thing? So, if I'm not sure about what I'm doing, I can tell you that I can get influenced by the public easily already. Correct? 80% to 90%, you don't believe me, you go and check, right? Right? I think most of your parents are working. Used to be working for someone else. So that's why I would say that be very careful to seek the advice. Who are you seeking advice from? Right? Even though your parents are good, we want to be filial, right? Nice people, doesn't mean that they can give you better advice. Because of certain industry, they have zero knowledge about. Right? Second group of people, self-employed. Right? So I did not go to employment because I don't believe in the go back to zero plan. And I chose to become a self-employed. Right? I control my destiny. I work hard. How much I work, I got commission based. I have higher commission. Right? So I like to be in control of my time. So, but the thing is that when I get to know about being self-employed, is also the highest risk. Why? Because everything depends on you. The higher the income professional, right, the more scary you become. For example, if you're a very famous top surgeon in Singapore, if one day right, your hand gonna chop, go to Malaysia. Right, gonna chop. Well, sounds like Malaysia is a scary country to go, man. I shouldn't say that because Mahathir just came yesterday also. Okay, anyway, right, I'll just say an accident. Just happened to realize that they cannot chop, they cannot conduct the procedure anymore, the surgery anymore. That means your income from sky high, $1 million income a year, should go back to zero. So some of the people that we see that these are high-paid professionals, right? High-paid self-employed, right? They take pride, they think that they make a lot of money, but I can tell you that they belong to a very high-risk group, right? Andy Lau, right? You know, Andy Lau, I would say that in the entertainment industry, he's a legend. Am I right? But he's also getting older. Last time he can run many concerts. Recently, you realize that he got to stop halfway because no more energy already. Oh, already, right? So one day you realize that if he should retire, his active income will drop. So being a self-employed group, right? When I was an insurance agent of this financial planner, I know if I work very hard, right, very, very hard, I can make high income. Even for property agent, right? Property agent, right? In fact, income is pretty high. Sorry, not because they're smarter than us. It just happened that the property price over the last 30 years because it went up. That's all, right? But one day if you stop selling, you have no more income. You can be 60 years old, you still got to bring people to see house, right? Or 70 years old, or 80 years old, right? So being a self-employed, sometimes you realize that it's good, but no matter what you do, right? At the end of the day, it goes back to zero. Chinese call 手停口就停. The more skillful you are, right? The scary you are. Okay, the third group of people, entrepreneurship, conventional business. I'm talking about all this in the long-term view, right? Not 1 or 2 years or 3 to 5 years. Look at it. If you look at the trend for 30 years, it's always like that. Right? Conventional business, you realize that you went through ups and down and ups and down, and some of the things has got nothing to do with you at all. Not because you're not capable, not because you're hardworking. Sometimes you realize that one earthquake, right? If your business happens to be in that location, you kena. Right? Tsunami, you also kena. And sometimes you realize that, right, this the Donald Trump not happy. Donald Trump suka one no. Today make friends, tomorrow make enemies, make friends, make enemy, right? I suspected that he manipulated the stock market, I tell you. Possible, you know. Right? So, but the thing is that we need to protect ourselves. Right? In traditional business, you realize that you are very vulnerable. Because anything that is outside changes, you become the victims. So there's a saying in Chinese, right? Wealth does not last more than 3 generations. 富不过3代. Why? 1 generation, you work about 30 to 40 years. Right? So 3 generations, if you add up, it's almost 100 years. So literally, you realize that it's very difficult for you to find 100-year-old 百年老店. It's very difficult for you to find in traditional business, corporate company that last more than 100 years. How many of you know Jack Ma? How many know Jack Ma? Oh, you really know him? Introduce to me. Now, we all know him as who is he, but we don't know him personally, right? So, of course, he's a legend. Right? You know, he is considered one of the most successful business person in China, right? You know, he actually, for his company, Alibaba, right? He actually thinks that he only can plan his company until 102 years old. What makes you think that you are even better than him? Such a brilliant, right? You look at him, he looks very extraordinary, right? Because there are speculations that he's not from this planet. He comes from other planet, White Singren. So he looks a little bit like White Singren. That's why he's connected to certain things. He got that kind of power, okay? But anyway, right? Such a brilliant person, design his company, right? He thinks that he can only really, this company can last 102 years. What makes you think that as an individual starting a company that it can build a lasting business? So when I saw this thing, I realized that, right, when I was 28 years old, right? In fact, most of you, I think currently, you have no big problems. But you've got to think that 5 and 10 years, 10 and 20 years down the road, where will you be? Because the decision that you make today was going to affect the life, right, or your destiny for the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years down the road. It's pretty scary. Let me show you why is it difficult to do conventional business. Because the plan is not fair. Some of you are business owner, right? The plan is not fair. Why is it not fair? If you are a boss, if you are an employer, the employer think of what? Employer think that the employees to be obedient, right? Work as long as they can. Yes or no? then no need to take so much money. If they can work a lot, right, take little much, my business cost lower, ma. Right? On the other hand, you walk to another side. What's the employee thinking? Employee will think the best job is work very little, my income very high. So if we were in this kind of relationship, employer and employee, is there a balance? There will never be a balance. Why? Because the working environment, right, the relationship is difficult to balance. Why is it that New Skin is different? Because you and me has got the same plan. If you are willing to work hard, you get more money. So I always amazed of big companies, the company you realize that they can have thousands of employees. Oh man, how they manage the company? I only have a few employees, I also cannot manage it. It's difficult to manage employees, to be honest, right? Because of different plan. But if you are a business owner, it's different. Why is New Skin is easier? Because we are in partnership. We're in partnership, right? And the profits are being shared by the company from the top to every one of us. If we work a little bit more, then so what is the role of the upline? Passing experiences, right? Because we have went through the experience over here. And trust me, your upline will not teach you something that's bad, because it's not going to help them. Because if you're not successful, will they be successful? No. Right? But in the outside world, you realize that it's different plan. So that's the reason why there is a lot of difference. When you understand about New Skin, right, over a long period of time, we call about compounding effect. And many of us started part-time. Okay, many of us started, especially a lot of my group people, professionals, they were ex-accountant, started part-time. They accumulate their wealth through New Skin. Not selling TNID, not selling dual or selling skincare product, but in the process they accumulate wealth. And sometimes you realize that your income is lower at the beginning compared to your professional work. So a lot of people gave up the New Skin business, right, after 6 months, after 1 year or 2 years. They gave up. You know why? You know why? Because they say that they don't make enough. Then I checked with them, what do you mean by you don't make enough? They tell me that because last time they were accountant. Right? I make how much money. But I already do here for 1.5 years. Right? I do part-time. But I don't make a lot of money yet. Right? So I asked him, right, as a professional accountant, you're an accountant, right? How many years do you spend to qualify to become an accountant? Oh, you see, I studied primary school 6 years, right? 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. After they come out, okay, then I have to work as a, what you call it, intern or whichever, right? Not so high pay yet. Then after that, I said, oh, you know how many years? Maybe 20 years. Right? Then after you work another 5 or 10, 7 years. Wow, I say you work all this, you qualify, you certified, you intern, you train. After that, you go up 20 years, you make more income. Now you do 2 years, you see, your income is not as high. Isn't it normal? Right? A lot of people, why they never see in the longer term, where will your career or your job will bring you to? If you want more, then you work a little bit higher. There's only one reason why people fail in New Skin. Lazy. Yeah, lazy, literally lazy. If you look at the activities, every day, stay at home, stay at home, stay at home, stay at home. Why you all laugh at this? Sounds like you, right? So my upline tell me it's a home-based business. We are paid to see people. You understand what I mean? Right? If it's purely online, don't need you already. You must know where the money comes from, right? So, but well, everybody's break is different. So once you break this point, right, it goes exponential. Why is this possible? People will ask me the same question. Is this business possible to enjoy the total freedom? Right? You don't have to ask me total. I give you some answers and analysis to understand what I mean. Right? Because under this plan, we are all business partners. Like for me, give an example. For me, I have a lot of my partners together. Do they need to make money? Yes or no? Yes. They also want to make money because they're not working for me. They're working for Themselves. If everybody working for themselves, right, the rule of the game, this model is sustainable over a long period of time because the plan is equal. Even like 20 years later, there are still new people who want to join the business because why? They're excited about the 6th generation 5% compensation plan, right? So, this is my first check, $220. So don't talk about 20 million, 30 million, 30 million that people always envy about the big numbers, right? Everything that you do, when you first started, you don't know anything, you have no knowledge, you have no experience, right? I would say that for some people, first 2 years is just internship. If you can make some money, already very good. If you want to make more money faster, then you work harder than the rest of other people. But can you imagine that the first check I get, I work very hard every day, check came out $220. Can do it on this game. Right? If you look at the check, of course cannot do lah. But many times you realize that you never look into the appearance. Right? You look at what is behind the appearance. Second month, my income is $500. Go double. But it's still not enough. $500 can eat what? Third month, 1,002, go double again. Wow, steady, right? First month double, second month double is very good. 1,002 also cannot do anything. It's very much lower than my pay, my income in insurance. So most of the people, you realize that 3 months they gave up. Right? But we diligently duplicating the business, duplicating the leadership. 4th month, when I turned executive, now one day you can become brand rep already. Last time we take 3 months. Wow, the volumes already covered, these two cannot promote. No. You already more than 30,000 now. Do 30,000 also cannot promote. As you wait until 3 months. So 4th month I become brand rep, my income is 20 over 1,000. Finally can do already. So all you guys, you're very lucky because today in velocity, right? You can become brand rep in 1 week. So by right, logically, if you're willing to put in a lot of effort and hard work, you can make money even faster than us. Right? How would you ever imagine that from $220 to today, become more than 20 million? Cannot imagine. So in starting a business, what you need, not only in terms of the strong partner that you have, you must have a vision. Because if you don't have the vision to see it, you will give up already. Right? If you evaluate and you realize the risk is very low, right? The only way is a lot of potential for you to grow. Okay? The key thing is that after some time building the business, right, I find it very meaningful. Because when I started MLM New Skin business, they told me that MLM stands for Make Life Miserable. Gosh, I say, I don't want to make life miserable. Right? But after I built the business for a period of time, I said they are wrong. No wonder they are not successful. Right? I realized that MLM stands for Make Life Meaningful. Why? Because my success can be duplicated. So over the last 19 years, I think what is beautiful about the business is, right, we duplicated a lot of success stories, right, directly or indirectly, we inspired more life, right, transforming more life, and they are able to be independently financially, right? So this is something that I would think if you are starting your own business, probably it's difficult for you to do it. You can become a multi-millionaire yourself. You can. But I think it's difficult for you to empower more of your employees to become millionaires. Right? So over the last 19 years, I think, right, for me, I just want to transform my life, but today you realize that many lives are transformed because of this platform. Not because of how good I am, but because of this platform. So I want to share with you, right, that myself, just now I show you, right, ex-financial planner. Angela is a traditional business owner. Right? She used to do government business, commercial business. So we started the business together. You can see the transformation from us, right? Of course, Onggi is one of my first few business partner, right? Why? You know why? Right? Because every time we tell you that when you started a business, people give you the name list, right? Then you start to write the name of people who are closer to with you. Onggi used to sit very close to me. So if you start a new skin business, right? Some people got very pride one, right? You say, I want to start a business, but I don't want to depend on my parents. Don't want to depend on my relatives. Don't want to depend on my friends, right? Don't want to depend on my colleagues. Then you die lah. I'm not sure Onggi is here today, right? if you got chance to ask Onggi, right, you ask him, right, does he feel lucky that his name is listed on my name list? Can you imagine that if I miss out Onggi, poor Onggi is still selling insurance today. Are you getting me right now? Sometimes, right, the names that you write, right, the people that you want to share with the business with, right, to us, there are a lot of, we have a lot of fear. Actually, you realize that for us, that you bring hope to them because you never know, right? You never know. Ultimately, you realize that they need still to put in effort and hard work. It's not a free lunch. Today, you realize that he become $10 million, right? And most importantly, he become more good looking also. Like Korean star now he. Right? Our beautiful Nixon, right? Lillian? I think Lillian started the business when she was 24, 25 years old, right? Worked for a few years after graduating from school. Used to be a sales director. Today, you realize that Lillian, through New Skin platform, has transformed tremendously. For some of you that are attending classes, right, very often, right, Lillian is always sharing, right, very passionate about the business. Why? Because she believes that this has changed her life. She just want to pay it forward. Because there are a lot of people in Singapore and worldwide, you realize, that needs our business opportunity. And today, I think Lillian is here. Shall we invite Lillian, right, to stand up? Many lives being transformed, right? Chua is also one of our outstanding leaders. Today, when you look at every one of these leaders, right, you will think, wow, these people are like honest. Wow, no. Actually, right, in the past, when we first started, we were just like you. We were just very normal, right? Of course, Chua's background is pretty good because he came from quite an established background, right, from Malaysia. You know, he studied abroad. In fact, when he came back, he's not only a certified accountant, he's also a sit in the board of directors for a few public listed companies in Malaysia. So that's why when you look at him in the past, he's always very serious. Because accountant, auditor is all like, right, cannot play one, right, very serious, very serious. In fact, today you realize that through New Skin, right, he become more fun, right? He changed quite a lot, I'll say that, right? The wife is actually working is also an accountant, ex-accountant, and through getting to know about New Skin, using the product, finding out about the possibility of this platform, right? They start to be focused, and today they lead a wonderful life. I know now at this period of time, right, while I was talking, they are enjoying their holidays. I think 2-3 weeks they are not around, right? Beautiful, right? Nicholas is also one of ST legend, right? Nansen, always every month go holidays on, right? You never see him, right? Because he enjoyed the kind of lifestyle. Nicholas and Gun, right? If you look at Nicholas last time, typical accountant look, right? He shared with us that anything that more than $100 ringgit, he won't buy. For shirt, for pants, anything more than 100 ringgit, he will never buy. For shoes, for pants, for today, if you look at Nicholas' transformation in terms of lifestyle, it's pretty scary, am I? So can you imagine that if they are not in New Skin? Right? With this face and this face, fast forward for 15 years. So never underestimate your potential, a possibility when you start embark on a New Skin journey. Because somehow you realize that 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years down the road, right, a lot of things are going to change for better. Mr. Yap, right, and Mrs. Yap are just a typical ordinary couple in Malaysia. You see them everywhere in Malaysia. Singapore also can see this out, right? Very normal. If it's not for New Skin today, you realize that Mr. Yap is about 62, 63 years old, right? You have a chance to see him, right? He still looks very young, right? Their transformation is also inspire a lot of people. This is why when I first started, people tell me that, can do in Singapore, man? Actually, it's not a matter of whether can do or not. Right? When you start to make a decision, in fact, you realize that you start to create the kind of impact and influence. Henry, right? Henry used to be a self-employed, trying to run a few businesses, become a property agent before. Before joining New Skin, the last role he has is actually a financial planner. So we actually get to know each other through the financial planning industry too. Right? So I spoke to him about this business, right? He made the change. Today, right, he's networked not only in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, right, and he has a huge group in China. So all these are possible, right, because they make a decision to start a New Skin journey. Okay, well, Pauline and Selenium, I think Selenium is here also today, right? Selenium is here, ex-piano teacher. right? Well, these are, Pauline is our Air Force officer. After he became an officer, I think many of civil servants here also, right? After which, he came out to become an insurance agent, and you get to know about Nu Skin, and especially that he saw that this business can be expanded to China. He started to have built himself a China dream. That's the reason why today that he has a big group in China right now for the China business. So in fact, where are you coming from is not important, right? Through Nu Skin, a lot of people have transformed, right? Selenium is here also. Can we give Selenium a round of applause? Very ordinary people. This is from China, right? From the western part of China, Xi'an, right? Some of you, I don't know whether we have Chinese here. Anyone from China here? Right? So basically, we're from Xi'an, right? Jingyan, lagi more ordinary, right? So she owns a restaurant called Pang Sao because she's very fat, right? She sells the 肉夹馍. 肉夹馍 in the west of China is like a hamburger version, Chinese hamburger. So her business is pretty good, but very busy, and of course, also the health is very bad for the for the kind of lifestyle, right? Then after she get to know about Nu Skin, she thought through Nu Skin she can transform. Indeed, today she become a $5 million Sequoia members, right? And she helped to transform many people's life. Okay, and this is another one, $5 million from China also, right? I think I want to especially mention about this guy, right? Yang Liuqing. Interesting, because life, right, in our life, there are always accidents that we cannot foresee, right? Cannot predict. So Yang Liuqing started Nu Skin business. He was ex-inspection officer. After she saw the Nu Skin potential, she started Nu Skin business, right? And just 1 year later, he got stroke. Right, he got stroke. Then he was bedridden for many years. When he wake up from the bed, he became $1 million Sequoia members. Right, then a few years more, he become $25 million. Let me ask you one question, right? No matter what job you are doing, if you fall sick, right, and stroke, serious, and you're not able to function anymore, perform anymore, who wants you? Literally, you realize that, right? You loss of income, and you become a liability to a lot of people, your family members. Am I right? So I'm not sure about what you are looking at Nu Skin, right? To me, right, when I look at his case study, the testimonial, right, Nu Skin become the best insurance policy. Right, get paid for lifetime, like a lifetime annuity. Right, through today you realize that through the Nu Skin product also, right? Not only that he able to have the passive income every month, but today you realize that he recovered. Right, even though you realize that he still have discomfort in mobility, but today you realize that if you can see the convention, right, he can walk. He can walk because of product recovery, right? And of course, the beautiful part is about the business model. He can still send his son, right, to US to study. I came back a couple of years ago, and now today he's also doing Nu Skin. Beautiful, right? So this is another couple, right? I think you've seen in ST very often. One of the best looking couple in Nu Skin Singapore, right? So Gavin is the ex-regional finance manager, right? As he was traveling a lot as a regional role, he become fatter and fatter. Fatter and fatter, right? Last time, just some information. Last time he ever attended 才华横溢出新秀 lucky he never make it to final. Right, he go into final, then today won't be have this kind of life, right? Because a lot of finalists after that you realize that a few years later they cannot continue to work anymore, right? So today you realize that how he has transformed through the Nu Skin product and touched many people's life, right? Well, Kim Seong, I think Kim Seong and Feng Yi, you are all very familiar. Also one of very outstanding leaders. They are Malaysian, staying in JB, but they work in Singapore. Right? What triggered them is that when they started to have their babies, their kids coming up. Can you imagine that? I think I heard a couple of days ago, just last few days, JB, Singapore, right? You travel from JB to Singapore is 4.5 hours. So their stories are always very inspiring because they stay in JB, they come to work in Singapore. Right? Wake up very early in the morning. Then after work, you realize that, right? When the time to go back, they have very little time for the family. So they started to think what kind of solution and platform can offer them the kind of flexibility. Right? And Kim Seong today is one of the outstanding leaders in ST, right? Not only that they are building the business in Singapore, Malaysia, I know today they're also building a big group, right? A big business in Australia. Can you imagine that if they were just engineer in the past, would they ever think that they will have business in Australia? Sorry lah, no matter how hard you work, it's not possible. Right? It's not possible. So you first need to think about, does your platform offer you the kind of possibility? First. Second, then you work on the probability. Because when you have a possibility, then you got probability, right? If there's no possibility, the probability is 0. Right? Go and Li Ting, right, is another one of the outstanding couple, right, from JV also. Go was ex-accountant, right, and this Li Ting was an ex-administrator. So they get to know about Nu Skin, actually with also the newborn baby, right? And just happened that after they get to know about Nu Skin, Li Ting got retrenched. Actually very normal. Today, if you look at today was a lot of people got retrenched also. Right, everything's not being very secure. They choose Nu Skin, right? They also become one of the $1 million secure members. The interesting part also, right? The name list, the first person is a sister, Ferlin, right? So Ferlin Kwang is Li Ting's sister. So if you are not listing your friends, relatives, and colleagues' name, you are missing out a lot of millionaires, right? And Ferlin also used to be this certified financial planner from Malaysia, and get to know about Nu Skin through a set of TR90, right? Trying to slim down, and of course started building a business. And she never thought that, right, they can build a business, such a big business everywhere in the world. Okay, Sikkim is another typical example, right? Sikkim is an accountant also, group accountant, right? Before she joined Nu Skin, she has no friends. Have you heard about anyone that have no friends? One? Scary, right? Because she just lived by herself, right? She has no friends, right? And very normal, right? Lifestyle, you know. So the typical people, when people will start to get to know about Nu Skin platform, the one thing they are very worried is that I got no friends. So how? Because this one you say friends, relatives, and all these things, right? Colleagues, right? Then she has no friend. How? I think the most important thing is that, right, if you can identify why you want to do the business, if your desire is so strong, even no friend like her, today, right, I think she has got the whole ST family friends. Like the one thing the people will say that after you do MLM, you have no friends. You heard about this statement? Be very wary, like if you do MLM. After you do already, no friends. I also heard about this before. But the true fact is after 19 years, I got more friends everywhere in the world. Some of them are not my friends, they also want to become my friends. So cut that bullshit, right? The key thing is that whatever you do, you need to become successful. Correct? If you join MLM, they don't want to become your friends. Anyway, they are not your friends anyway. It's just a name in your phone. Right? You take it too seriously. Because they don't even treat you as a friend, right? You treat them as friends. Chinese called 自作多情. Until you die in the coffin, you also don't know that actually they are not your friends. So why you bother in the first place? Right? So the best thing for you to gauge whether they are friends or not, start doing Nu Skin. That's the best barometer for you to check, right? Whether they're true friends or not. So you never buy, no friends. You never buy, no friends, no friends, no friends. So then you can focus on the real friends, right? Because anyway, time is limited. Why are you going to spend time with people who are not your friends? Not real friends, right? As you do Nu Skin, right, you gather more of your real friends. So who are real friends today? Many of all these MDC that, you know, almost, right, some MDC I meet almost every month. True friends, right? With the same direction, same vision, same dreams, right? Even same a lot of things that the lifestyles that we have. So Sikkim is a transformed figure, really a transformed person, right, through the Nu Skin platform. Derek is also very, you know, in Singapore, right? Many of you see him, he's always shared in Singapore platform. Ex-marketing manager, right? Actually, he's playing a regional role in a Fortune 500 companies. Yeah, it's quite a high professional, highly paid professional. Right, and the wife started the business first. Right, want to slim down, want to start a business, and subsequently, of course, the rest is that, you know, as she built the business, Derek started to see the potential of this business model, right? Being a very wise man, saw the potential, right? Today he realized that, and now, right, they are building a very big business in Indonesia, right? I think that this was never imagined before, right? This is possible without new skin, right? Okay, this is another story from China, interesting. Guo Tangbing, right, up and coming. Guo Tangbing used to be a waitress in a restaurant, right? She didn't have a highly qualified education. She was a waitress, so in a restaurant, so she gained all the knowledge about the F&B business, right? After she, with the savings, she partnered with someone else and started a restaurant in Shenzhen. And a very short period of time, right, because she didn't know how to run the business, then the restaurant collapsed, right, and she stole money. So after that, the introducer introduced her to the business. She started off the business with no prior knowledge about building new skin. And she turned around. Today, right, she's one of the fastest growing leader in China, in the southern part. Right, so this is indeed a lot of big transformation. Okay, Zhixiong and Lina, right, graduate from the University from Malaysia, working for the parents for a while, get to know about new skin. Right, today, they're also one of our youngest $1 million circle members in Malaysia. Amazing stories, right? Gong Sun and Ming Fang, the same, right? They were very young also. They get to know about new skin when they were boyfriend and girlfriends. Today, I think they got 2 or 3 kids already. I think I lost count very fast, they all. 2 or 3. 3 already, 2 or 3. Down there also don't know, 2. So literally, Ming Fang is almost like semi-retired and staying at home, right? Gong Sun was very inspiring because Gong Sun used to be, what do you call it, stammer, right? He cannot speak on, he speak like, yeah. Today you realize that he's probably one of the most humorous speaker that we have in ST, right? Very humorous, right? Sharing. Last time it's not like that one. He stutter, you know. Many of the downlines are here, right? Many of the downlines are here. Interesting, right? Who told you that in new skin you need to speak very well? One of the best, right, best leader in this industry is that they don't know how to speak one. Because you stutter after, then after the prospect say, you don't talk like, I see myself lah. Right? So I say, oh, you like that also can do. You cannot speak well also can do. Okay, I join. I can speak better than you, right? Sure, I can do better than you. So this is the beautiful part about our business model. In the traditional business, no way. Right? This becomes a handicap. Bao Yan and Alan, I think one of our top leaders in Singapore, right? Also very fast, they built to become a $1 million circle member. Bao Yan previously was from banking. I think Alan also from banking. I think due to the new birth, right? The new baby, she chose to stay at home. I think this is quite common for a lot of female, right, housewife, right? Even though they are quite educated professionals, but due to want to spend more time in the family, they cannot work in their profession, right? So she saw a lot of opportunity. She even learned online business before, right? She even take the real estate property agent course before and tried to sell some property, right? She tried a lot of things until she stumbled upon new skin, right? Partly also because of TNIT, right? She want to slim down and get to know about the potential of the business. Today, I would say that they are one of the most committed leaders. Right, one of the most competent leaders in Singapore, right? And they were, you never thought that this kind of people will come and join your skin too, right? But one thing for sure, right? Everyone wants to have a better life, right? Ichiro and Don, right? I think some of you went to our LTS in KL last month, right? One of the newly crowned $1 million circle members, right? They were dancer, they were professional dancer, right? Don was almost like, the hair is almost dropping, right? When we first started doing new skin. They were very good dancer. In fact, Ichiro won a lot of trophy before, right, in the world stage dancing, right? Even though dancing, right, you realize that it's still a little bit fat lah. So through the new skin platform, they have totally transformed. In fact, Ichiro is not educated. I think it's almost like primary school education. Yeah, so very, very inspiring. You realize that for primary school today, I can see wow, the way he speaks on the stage, wow, very powerful. No? Right, I think some of you go here, right, very powerful. Can you imagine the primary school cannot speak Chinese, right, cannot speak English, cannot speak Cantonese? Can become like that. Very inspiring. Li Hui from China, right, ex-manicurist. I think you've seen a lot of this kind of very normal people looking people. Right? Can you imagine the manicurist, right? That so normal looking, right? I think probably you would introduce new skin to him, right? Her, right? Today she's also, I think she complete MBC in 6 years, pretty fast. In where? In a very northwest rural province in Qinghai. Qinghai province is one of the poorest province in China. She also, through the new skin platform, transformed her life. Ibu Hani, right, a very successful businesswoman from Indonesia. Right, she sell cars, don't sell one or two cars. She sell like hundreds cars. One time, 200 cars. She sell to corporate, sell to government, right? So she was named Queen of Alpha. Why? Because she sell the most Alpha in the whole Indonesia. Right? So when the first time I get to know her, she invited me to her office. Right? Her office has got one building. She owns an office building, selling a lot of cars. Right? So in fact, you ask her why she get involved in new skin. She said that through new skin platform, she can help a lot of people. I say, you're selling cars, you also make a lot of money, right? Yeah, selling cars, I can make a lot of money. But it's difficult for me through my platform to help a lot of people. There are a lot of young people, there are a lot of people in Indonesia, right? Their income probably after they graduate only $200-300 US. I cannot offer them an opportunity to change their life. But through new skin platform, I can offer this opportunity, right, to transform more people's life. That's the reason why some of us come in because they want to make millions of dollars. But for some people already very successful, right, they look in the new skin platform in a different angle. Where you can reach out more people to give them opportunities. Sun Chen and Yiling, right, ex-engineer. In fact, Sun Chen only worked for a couple of months after he graduated from UK. Came back, right, worked for a couple of months, get to know new skin, right. I think all these people, they have one thing that's common. They like freedom. Like not because they want to give up the job, they like freedom. So when they get exposed to new skin, right, the possibility of this kind of lifestyle, they started to choose new skin. Today it's also one of the youngest $1 million circle of members. Together with the girlfriend, now the wife, right, just a hairstylist, very normal looking hairstylist, but today you realize, I think she probably is one of the youngest. I think she's only like 22 or something, 22, 23 years old. Yeah. You know, literally you realize that in new skin, right, you see all kinds of people. Right? As long as you choose to believe, right, you commit and you persist. Right? Everyone is possible in the new skin platform. You don't need to have, you know, when you are enrolling in certain jobs, sometimes they look at your degree, your experiences, right? By new skin, you realize that you don't have to. So why is it that we are able to produce so many success stories? I'll say that we go great because of system. Right? Many of us, we have no prior experiences in business or sales, but we have a system that can help you, right, to become an entrepreneur. So this is a group that we work together, partnership in terms of group of leaders. And why are we different? We have a systematic training program, right from a start. Right, so we call this as a school, right? Success Together University. We structured the training program, all the journey, right, into a systematic training program. So we teach you step by step, right? In fact, you realize that to become an entrepreneur is very difficult. And outside world, sometimes people don't teach you, right? Because they teach you to creating another competitor or enemy. So all the best practice, they will not teach you. So today, why we are able to build and duplicate so many success stories, because this is proven. And many of the leaders or the mentors, they are more than willing to help you. Why? Because the plan, our plan is like that, right? Only when they help more people, they are able to become successful. These are some of the activities just we have in Singapore and Malaysia. If you look at the timetable today, the activities, you know why are we more successful? Right? Because activities equals to results. Right? So this togetherly is just in Singapore and Malaysia. We still have the Vietnam, we still have Indonesia, right? And we still, many of all these activities is offline, not online yet. We still have online activities. In China, we have it every day online. Right? Every day. Only we take break on the first day and the first 5 days of Chinese New Year. 360 days, we have training every day from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So as long as you have the will, you have the desire, right? We are prepared, right? We have the kind of the best support system, but unless you are not willing, right? You are not willing, you realize that it's difficult for you to learn. The challenge part is about learning. Okay, we have it in Indonesia, in Vietnam too. So, and we have the most comprehensive support tools, right? We have recordings and all the support materials to help you to kickstart and jumpstart in the business. These are all ready for you, right? These are all ready for you. Don't like a lot of business, you realize that you have an idea, a birth of a new idea into a production, right? It's difficult for you to have build out a system. According to Robert Kiyosaki, right? He mentioned that you realize that in fact there are only 3 types of business. First is conventional business. 99% will fail because it's difficult for you to build a system. Right? Second is this franchise system. Right? Franchise system, successful one, very expensive, like McDonald's, Starbucks, very expensive. If you buy a very cheap franchise, chances are the system also koya one. Cannot make it one, not proven one. Right? So the third business system is called network marketing. Very few people know. Right? Actually, he wrote his book 10 over years ago. I saw that, but there's a reason why I got excited. But he said got one risk in network marketing. Right? Those group that has got system, business system in place, the rate of the product becomes successful is higher. Right? If you're just doing MLM or network marketing by just selling product, you will never become successful. Okay, the last part, why now? Right? I think that's most important, right? Where are we right now? If you look at the news today, right, for the last couple of months, okay, basically you realize that whether it's Singapore or the world, economy is not getting good. Retrenchment in Singapore, up in the first quarter. So 80% or 90% of the people who are working, that means that many people is going to get affected, to affect the lifestyle, right? Job cuts of up to 20,000, right, in one of the most lucrative industry, financial industry, right? IKEA, right, same, lost 7,500 jobs cut. These are all recent news, right? And all these brands are pretty famous. GNC, right, plans to close down 900 stores. So how many lives are going to be affected? Right? Other industry, right? Chemicals, demand for chemicals industry, like 6,000 jobs cut. Right? So I think, right, in terms of timing, sometimes Jen has mentioned about, right, this crisis, right, what can we do? Actually, if you look at it negatively, nothing you can do. But if you can look at it positively, if you take this opportunity to reflection, right, because some of you probably have worked for 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, or 20 years, or even 30 years, right? So it's a time for you to reflect. If you continue to do what you're doing right now, what will happen 5 years later? Fast forward 10 years later. Fast forward 20 years later. You have the answer. Right? Actually, you have the answer. The question is that many of us are resistant to change. Right? But if we are not changing right now, 5 years later, we are getting older. 10 years later, lagi old. 15 years later, lagi old. Right? 20 years later, you just give up already. Right? No matter whatever dreams you have in the past, you realize that you just give up because you find that you are a failure. Right? So in fact, over here, it's not so much about MLM or New Skin, right? We offer you a solution. And this plan, you realize that every one of us, right, if you make a decision, you can do it. So I want to show you a plan here of how to get started. Right? And how to get started is so simple, right? Because success is as simple as 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3, kid also know. So you don't understand about a compensation plan, never mind. Right? The first step, what you need to do is investing in yourself. The best investment is not investment in property, stocks, forex, or whichever. The best investment is to invest in yourself. Right? But of course, in our business, you realize that we have health, we have beauty. Right? I think the best investment, make yourself, beautify yourself. Renovation, when you want to open a shop, you do renovation. Right? But you do the renovation, 50,000, 100,000, give to what? Contractor. So they pocket the money, they make a lot of money, right? So the first step, what you need to do is that renovate your shop. Understand? Right? Whether you use SPA, or you use TNIT, or you use the H-Lot Dual, right? Investing in yourself. Don't invest in the contractor. Okay? Invest in yourself, right? First step. Second step, share with 2 people. Right? Third step, share with 3 people. Right? Working closely with your upline. Then by doing so, duplicating that, you become a brand rep. So if you do that, duplicating that, right, the potential income, right, in Malaysia is 5 figures, Singapore is more than $5,000 if you duplicate 1, 2, 3. This for a start, right? For a start. But you need to follow diligently, lah. Right? If you want to create your own method, I cannot help you, huh? Right? I cannot help you because this is a proven model and how we duplicate the business. Okay? So, but more exciting part is not about this income. This is nothing exciting at all. Right? Remember my income in the first part? 220, and I still do the business. Crazy, right? So, what is exciting is this compensation plan. This is a plan that will change your life forever. So, New Skin have created almost $5,500 million circle one member because of this plan. The 6th generation 5% compensation plan. Right? Remember 1, 2, 3? With 1, 2, 3, you become brand rep. You help the ABCD become brand rep. So you have 5 brand rep. By duplication, you realize that 525, 125, 625, 3125, 15,625. So if you duplicate that, right? If you sum it up, you have about 20,000 brand reps. So what is 20,000 brand reps? Right? 20,000 brand reps is as good as you got 20,000 Starbucks, McDonald's, 7-Eleven, right? Opening everywhere in the world. And each outlet, you get a royalty bonus of 5%. Isn't it exciting? Some people, when I show this plan to them, we say that it's not possible. If you think it's not possible, remember I told you, then it's not possible. Right? It's not possible. But if you think as a business person, okay, if you start a business today from one shop, right, you hope that one day you want to have 2 shops. One day you want to have 5 shops. One day you want to be like McDonald's, you got 20,000, 50,000 shops everywhere in the world. Yes or no? But if you run traditional business from 1 shop to 5 shops, what is your capital investment? Getting higher, right? The risk getting higher, right? So what happens if you have 20,000 shops? How much money are you going to invest? So most of the business, you can see that if you have 1 shop, you make money. When you have 10 shops, 2 shops make money, 8 shops lose money. So at the end, you lose money. Right? But you get yourself so busy, tired, and lose your health. At the end, you still lose money. Right? Every one of us, you realize that in business, if you are ambitious, you want to expand, right? To build a bigger business. If we have a business that we have 20,000 employees, if 1 staff, you pay them $2,000. Okay? Right? If you're a big boss, right? 1 staff, $2,000. 20,000 staff, employees. How much payroll every month? Never count. I don't know how to count. 40 million. Just payroll. Payroll means what? Sunk costs. Right? So you're going to build a big business. Doesn't mean that the bigger the business, the more people you need to engage, right? Yes or no? So let me tell you that why is it that a lot of business, right, when they get bigger, the chances of them for them to fail is even higher. By duplication of 5, 25, 125, this 20,000 executive or brand rep, you don't have to pay them. Whether it's performing or non-performing. And there's no rental for you to pay. But you got royalties for the rest of your life. So you tell me, which is a better business? So if you just look into MLM, you cannot see the opportunity. Right? But if you look in depth into comparison, this is very clear. Why would you want to pay so much money, right, to an individual, right, from 5 and 10 or 20 employees? The more you pay them, doesn't mean that the productivity will be higher. The beautiful part about this business is that all these people self-maintain. And they have a strong desire of themselves. They're independent. And they want to move up to be higher pin title. Right? So we are in a business model whereby you are a win-win business model. Right? Only when you help more people to become successful, you can become successful. So how can you not able to become successful in this kind of model? If you go out to the outside, right, it's win-lose, zero-sum game. For someone to win, someone have to lose. So if you go out to that kind of cruel world, right, what is the possibility for you to become successful? It's very low. You need to be a genius. You need to be like Jack Ma, right? All these people, you need like Li Ka-sheng. You know why Li Ka-sheng is called Superman? It's called Superman, right? But none of us is Superman, right? Now we wear our underwear outside. What? You're just normal, right? Even though, right, if you look at it, more conservative, if you build it for 3 to 5 years and build out this structure, to have a passive income of 23,000 over US dollar per month, it's pretty good, right? But even though one day you want to stop, like for example, I want to stop, my downlines want to stop also. Because they want to make more money than me. Right? And everyone is equal because every one of them have got 6th generation 5%. Right? In our plan, there is a possibility that for downline to make more money than the upline. So it's not pyramid, huh? Right? Why? Because everybody have their own 6th generation. Are you with me? So this is what I call that is fair, regardless when you join the business. Last but not least, if you are confused, whatever I say, right? This is a takeaway for you. Right? This is a takeaway for you to think when you go back. Do you want to have in a business or job or role, right? They have only one-time income, or you want to do something that can offer you lifetime income? Because some people will tell me that, Rayne, you speak very well, right? You know, well, a lot of things that I learned, right? Of course, I'm good, I speak 19 years already. How can I be not good if you're saying the same thing all over again, right? But the key thing is that you need to ask yourself, right? If you go back, get out of this room, whatever you are doing, are they offering you one-time income plan? Or there's a possibility for you to have a lifetime income? And New Skin offers you a lifetime income plan. Right? So I don't care about when people tell me about MLM or New Skin or self-skincare or go and measure people the waist or whatever. I don't bother. Because they are not going to help you. We are in deep shit. Right? You need to be very clear on what are you doing. Right? Last part. The things you are doing right now. Are you making just an income or building a legacy? Why is that legacy is possible? Because you are getting lifetime income. In New Skin platform, over the last 35 years, since it started in 1984 until today, we have many of the parents who did the business, right? And some of them passed on. It's very natural because one day we're going to submit our IC. Right? Go to another world, right? So the things that you are doing right now for 30 or 40 years, right? Is this able to pass on to the next generation as a legacy? Or your children, right, need to start all over again. So you could think about it, right? So New Skin offer you not just about making millions. I think that if you understand about building a legacy, is something that's very interesting. We have seen a lot of parents that are joining our business, not just so much about making how much money they have right now. It's building a legacy for the next generation, right? Last but not least, right? If you really want to build a business and committed, again, don't trust me totally because we are all strangers. Remember that when you were younger, your parents tell you what? Don't believe in strangers. Okay? But what are friends for? Friends are basically from stranger to friends, right? So basically what you did, I want to invite you, right, to come to our convention. Okay? To come to our convention, right, a couple of months ago, a couple of months later. But I think the most important thing, you need to secure tickets because the tickets are running out very soon, right? So come to the convention and witness for yourself, right? Don't trust me totally and go in and see for yourself, feel for yourself, right? And see what kind of possibility that you can build for yourself for the future. So you were there not just about witnessing, but you know at the same time see the possibility of what can you be 5 and 10 and 20 years down the road, right? Not just hearing from my mouth, because some people say that you can speak very well, right? Very convincing, right? So, but the thing is that you go there, right? You can see more of different kind of experience. Okay. Well, with that, I want to close my sharing for today, right? And of course, I wish every one of you success together because that is what we believe, right, in ST. Thank you very much.
Once again, let's thank our $20 million commenter, Rayne. He has actually spent for 2 hours sharing this opportunity with us. So of course, you know, look forward to see you in ST19. But I think for those Malaysians and Singaporeans, we are very blessed. Currently, we actually have an ongoing expo promo. So for Singaporeans, see for yourself what the crowd is like in New Skin Singapore next Friday and Saturday. And for Malaysians, it's happening here. So please leverage on this promo to